But we're back. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the TSL4 Korean Qualifier. It is 6 a.m. right now. I woke up at 5 a.m. thinking I'd start then, because that's what the TL calendar said about 6 hours ago. But I was fooled, I was trolled, I was tricked. Got up and there was no calendar entry. So, I went back to sleep, set my alarm an hour later, and now I am up and ready to cast some games. We're going to go to ×4. Top left-hand location, the red Zerg player, we have Nestea. His opponent, the bottom left-hand location, the purple Zerg player, Luvsic. Overloads being made, both these two players going to 14 in that supply count. Spawning pool on the way for Luvsic. Looks like Nestea wants to go for the same exact thing. Spawning pool a little bit later on 15. The hatchery's going to go down fairly soon, I would imagine. There it is from Nestea. There it is from Luvsic. So pretty identical timing in that regard. We'll have to keep an eye on the gases. No gas is taken just yet. Finally, a gas on the way from Luvsic. Meanwhile, Nestea not taking a gas just yet. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Has a queen on the way. Still no gas. Remaining gases for quite a long time here. We've seen this in ZVT where people never getting gas. Is Nestea going to do this in ZVZ? Queen on the way in the main and the natural expansion. Looks like it's just going to rely on the queen defense, at least in the early part of this game. Finally adding gases to his natural expansion, saturating both of those. Meanwhile, Luvsic has gas mined. Metallic boost on the way for him, about to finish. Can he take advantage of this timing? That's the question I have. A lot of queens on the field here for Nestea, as well as a spine crawler on the high ground. Lots of roaches in production for Nestea, about 12 or so. Units tab shows, they're about the same in that roach production. So who's going to be aggressive? Nestea marching across the map. Let's slow it down a little. We have an attack on for the natural expansion. Luvsic has that high ground concave, so Nestea refusing to engage that at this point in time. Luvsic chilling on his high ground. Income tab shows 43 to 32 in favor of Luvsic. So Luvsic able to sneak in a few more drones at this point in time. Going up to a layer are both these two players. Nestea trying to engage once again with a lot of roaches and a lot of lanes. Luvsic still up ahead in supply, so should be fine. Spinecrawler needs to finish though. Queen doesn't have any transfuses available, but look out for that to be utilized. Beaver saying there's a bit of sound lag. Hopefully there's not. Let me know if that changes or if that's the same for you, sir. Luvsic trying to make more and more roaches. Forced to pull some drones here to deal with this heavy aggression from Nestea. And it looks like Luvsic should be able to hold this off eventually, but at what cost? Income tab 38 to 31 still in favor of Luvsic. So Luvsic still looking like he's just fine. Still looking like he's just fine. Nestea, meanwhile, sneaking in some drones here and there. We have +1 missile attacks. I would imagine that's what that is. On the way from him. No upgrades on those links. Where do these two players go from here? Nestea taking down the Rock Fleet into his third. That hatchery not going down just yet. Meanwhile, Luvsic getting some roaches on the field. Taking down the rocks, leading to his third as well. Both of his gas in his main, both of his gas in his natural taken. We have some scouting action going on. Nestea trying to find out what he can discover. There is an infestation pit on the way here from Luvsic. Meanwhile, Nestea has passing glands. And no, actually, Luvsic. Both these players going for the infestation pit, going for the roach infestor composition. A Ling denying a drone initially from Nestea. Luvsic getting his third down before his opponent. This is round 128 of the TSL4 qualifier, Korean qualifier. Of course, a best of 3 between Luvsic and Nestea. Income tab shows 68 to 57 in favor of the purple Zerg player Luvsic. A lot of roaches on the field for him. Speckling in those infestors as well. Same composition from Nestea. This game is getting pushed a little bit later. Creep spread going quite well here for Nestea, advancing to the middle of the map. We have Hydras on the way for Nestea, adding on the range upgrade for those Hydras. 4 spine crawlers in his main base, just in case. Lots of those infestors on the field. Counterattack from Nestea. Greets a lot of roaches and decides they do not want to engage there. Fourth on the way for both of these two players, not feeling quite confident enough to engage just yet. We have a hive on the way for Luvsic, well before his opponent Nestea. A lot of drones on the way as well. Up to 86 drones. Actually, it's about 90 to 90 in that drone count for both these two players. Look for plenty of spine crawlers to be made in this game. 6 more spine crawlers on the way for Nestea. Looks like he wants to be a little bit aggressive. They are both essentially max here. Nestea approaching the bottom right hand side of the map, looking for an optimal engagement. Let's slow it down a little bit. Luvsic this is kind of safe on the left hand side, but it's not like there's spine crawlers on the right hand side. Luvsic, though, has heard me. Put down 5 additional spine crawlers there. Plenty of Infestors, plenty of Roaches, plenty of Hydras in this composition. Whose upgrades are better? We have 1-1 for Luvsic, and we have 1-2 for Nestea, a little bit ahead in that regard. Oh my god, we have a Nidus Worm, a Greater Spire on the way here from Luvsic as well. The question is, where is that going to be utilized? We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Both these players chilling with their armies, not feeling confident to engage. We have a lot of bank adding up for both these two players. Looks like Luvsic wants to engage. Nice concave there from Nestea. Very great. Fungal Growth going down for both these two players. Luvsic has the Infestor count, but Nestea has the Hydra count. And a lot of Infested Terrans being thrown down. Luvsic now max 200 over the 182 of his opponent. Charging forward across the map to his opponent's side of the map. But Nestea has the bank. He's going to remax immediately. 41 Roaches in production at one point at that point in time. Spine Crawlers doing his best they can to defend. Going to be counterattacking is Nestea, trying to take these Hydras off creep. The Nidus is complete. Hasn't been utilized just yet. Nestea charging forward into his opponent's side of the map. Fungal Growth's going down. Spine Crawlers trying desperately to do their job to get that work done. Luvsic has a lot of Roaches in production. A Broodlord on the way. Caught. Teching a little bit. Hydra, or actually Hatch, getting transfused by that Queen. Looks like Nestea should be cleaned up here. And look at this. Luvsic has that supply lead. 196 to 105. Luvsic actually looking incredibly well, but Nestea going for Broodlords of his own. There's a Nidus somewhere. There it is. And Nestea's main base. Luvsic counterattacking immediately into Nestea's main base. This is not looking good for Nestea. Targeting down that Greater Spire. Nestea has 22 Roaches on the way. 6 Broodlords on the way as well. Hive undoubtedly will get targeted very soon. Roach Warren is going to die as well. Nestea's going to have to remake extremely fast, or he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Roach is trying to advance to the main base, but there's only about 8 of those. They're saying, okay, never mind. That's a lot of stuff. I'm out of here. Infestors now droning in on the fun. Broodlord's coming in as well. Roach is now feeling confident to engage. He's going to take out that Nidus Worm, so the Roaches can't retreat. Great play there from Nestea. Luvsic has a supply lead, 200 to 139 supply. Infestors on the low ground. Look out for those fungal growths, but Roaches have no real way of dealing with these Broodlords. So Luvsic, all the supply is essentially dead. He's going to have to scramble, kill what he can. Maybe try to rebuild the Nidus and then try to retreat through that, but that's going to be hard to do. Nestea's going to be on top of that. Broodlord's coming forward here, going to prevent these Roaches from retreating. Or at least try to. And all of a sudden, Luvsic's going to lose a lot of these Roaches to Nestea's Broodlords. Nothing more to watch here unless you enjoy watching things die, in which you are a cruel human being. You should not be watching StarCraft 2. Just kidding, we'll watch it. It's fun. Goodbye, Roaches. What a terrible feeling. You know you're going to die. You're hugging your loved ones. You're huddling against the back of the cliff debating, okay, should I jump off the cliff or should I let myself die to these Broodlords? Oh, the Nidus being made in Luvsic. Gonna save a lot of his Roaches. Hooray. What a nice story. I feel like we could write a story about that. Who wants to write a nice poem about that? I think it can be done. What a great story. Nestea going to be counterattacking with some Roaches. Remember, he lost his entire main base. Just finished up his spawning pool at the 24-minute mark of the game. But Nestea has dim Broodlords. Luvsic has some Broodlords as well, so this is gonna get kind of crazy. It's gonna get kind of crazy. A lot of Corruptors on the field as well from Luvsic. Is that going to be what it's going to come down to? Another Nidus on the way somewhere. Not sure entirely where. Where is that Nidus? Okay, right into the natural expansion Nestea. Luvsic with some ingenious Nidus play here, attacking the right side of the map. Nestea spread apart. Completely spread apart here. Nestea is very immobile with that Broodlord composition. Gonna fungal those Roaches though. Broodlord's taking out a lot of these Roaches on the high ground at Nestea's 5th base, or should we call it his 4th, considering his main died. Nestea cleaning up everything. This Nidus did end up getting cleaned up. But now, Nestea down to 129 supply. Only on 3 bases. Income tab shows 73 to 54 in favor of the Purple Zerg player. Luvsic playing this just fine right now. Has a pretty substantial lead. All this can change, though. We have a lot of Infestors on the way for Nestea. Some Roaches speckled in there as well. Does he even have a hive rebuilt? No, his lair is on the way. So he has no ability to make Broodlords. Does Luvsic have a timing here? Is he going to try to be aggressive? Okay, increase the speed a little bit here as this game goes along. Luvsic's playing very passively. He is maxed, has plenty of Broodlords, but letting Nestea get quite a bank. Nestea just making exclusively Infestors at this point in time. Let's take the units tab really quick. Let's guess how many Infestors. I think there's about 20 Infestors there. Oh my god, Nestea has 30 Infestors. Let me say that again. Nestea has 30 infestors. This isn't just an infestor. This is a Nestea infestor. So while he is relatively behind here, there's definitely an avenue back into this game, especially because his opponent is pretty much exclusively air at this point in time. Guess what's good against air? Infested Terrans. Guess what comes out of infestors? Infested Terrans. Guess what comes out of Nestea's infestors? Michael Jackson infested Terrans. They're absolutely amazing, and they can dance. Can infested Terrans dance? That'd be kind of cool. Nestea finally getting a Spire and Hive rebuilt. Luvsic still playing extremely passively, building lots of Spine Claws at every additional base, taking the entire bottom right-hand side of the map, building a ridiculous bank. 3-3 air weapons and air carapace is on the way for Luvsic. Infestor counterattack, throwing down Infested Terrans into Nestea's 4th, trying to deny those once again. Looks like Nestea has had enough. Burrowing every single infestor. There's a fungal there from Luvsic, and there's Nestea. Throwing down a lot of Infested Terrans. Major engagement here in the middle of the map. Look at all those Infested Terrans from Nestea. Gonna try to kill all these Broodlords, but is it gonna be enough? It looks like it might be. Let's double click these Broodlords and see how fast they fall. And they are going to die extremely fast. Nestea cleaning up the Broodlords from his opponent. Oh my god. Lots of Broodlords going down there from Luvsic. And Nestea, again, I think he's found a way back in this game. 10 Corruptors on the way, though, for Luvsic. Going to try to have something to say about that. But Units tab shows he's down to 0 Broodlords. Very nice engagement there from Nestea. As cost efficient as you can get. What did you just watch? QDT97 in the chat. You just watched a bunch of Broodlords getting killed by a bunch of Infested Terrans from Nestea. Nestea advancing to the bottom side of the map here, throwing down even more Infested Terrans. And does Luvsic really have a response to this many Infestors? Keep in mind, at the same time, there's a counterattack from Luvsic, top right-hand side of the map. Lots of roaches going up there. Nestea not yet sending reinforcements in that area, sending drones, in fact. So Nestea has to get a lot of damage done with these Infestors. Spine Crawlers trying their best to prevent that from happening. Infested Terrans killing absolutely everything. Roach is going to be reinforced in the bottom right-hand side of the map. And Nestea is back in this game. 177, 179 supply. A little, relatively even in that regard. Nestea charging with the Roaches to the bottom right-hand side of the map. Roaches from his opponent taking out a hatchery. Nestea finally deciding to deal with that. I'm not going to call this a base trade, but this is just a weird game. That's what I'm going to say. A lot of Infestors have been lost, though, from Nestea. Down to 13 from 30. Roach is trying to engage these Spine Crawlers. Luvsic trying to rebuild stuff. Has Broodlords and Corruptors there. Trying to be rebuilt. Nestea looks like he has enough to take down these Spine Crawlers. And can probably take down this hatchery as well. But Infestors coming forward here from Luvsic has something to say about that. Throwing out the fungal growth on the Roaches. It's not going to matter. This hatchery will fall. Goodbye, hatchery. Meanwhile, this hatchery gone from Nestea. This hatchery gone from Nestea. This hatchery has to be remade from Nestea. Nestea only on 1 mining base. His opponent only on 1 mining base. This is actually pretty darn close. Luvsic still has that supply lead, 199 to 168, but Nestea putting up a serious fight. A little bit of a slow part of the game, so we're going to times it up a little bit. Both these players trying to get some units on the field, looking at the minimap, seeing if there's any burrowed infestor play, any counter-attack potential. Nestea building up quite a roach army, still a lot of infestors underground. A few Broodlords in the air as well. Luvsic trying to build up an army of his own. Broodlords in the air, Corruptors. Both these players are maxed once again and starting to get those banks, trying to resaturate these bases. Overlord being pooped out by, or Creep being pooped out by an Overlord. We're going to see a counterattack though. Into the main base of Nestea, involving a lot of links, trying to target down those queens. Not a bad idea at all. Nestea forced to retreat with some roaches to deal with this. Luvsic has the money and the gas to spend. More lings going to the right side of the map. Luvsic trying to exploit the immobility, or the supposed immobility of his opponent's army in that Broodlord composition. Hatchery going to have to be canceled here from Nestea. Luvsic, don't away the links. He doesn't really need those. He has the money and has the gas to build the meteor units, and that's exactly what he's doing. 3 Infestors, 1 Corruptor, 4 Broodlords in production, 4 our purple Zerg player Luvsic. Take a quick drink of water, excuse me. Delicious. Delicious water. Burrowedlings over here are going to have some fun a little bit later. Right now they are scheming what they're going to do. Having a conversation. Be like, alright, here's what we're going to do. In 2 seconds we're going to unburrow. I'm going to get that drone, you get that drone. Ready, break. Ready, break. Do only Americans get that reference? The ready, break reference? Can I get some feedback in the chat? Did the people in the chat get that reference? The ready, break? I'm not sure if it's an American football thing. And I know we probably don't have a lot of American viewers here because it's 6:30 a.m. Central Time. Nice phone go there from Luvsic, and oh my god, a lot of roaches getting very low in health. But this Nestea, can he just overwhelm his opponent with infested Terrans again? And for you Denmarkians and Germans in the chat who don't understand, perhaps Google it? I don't know. I'll explain it in a bit. But big engagement going to happen here. Nestea ahead in supply. Look at all these infested Terrans. Luvsic trying to retreat, but there's no end to the green beach balls. Portugal doesn't get it. Europeans don't get it. Okay. Well, you guys are about to learn something new today. Today I learned. Nestea charging the bottom right hand side of the map. Luvsic running out. Danes, please. Not Denmarkians. I apologize. But the Corruptor's in the air. See, there we go. Clan Brown informing our chat of what's going on. Thank you. It's funny, though, because Cleveland Browns are a football team. And Clan Brown might be was that like a hilarious connection there? But anyway, Nestea killing a lot of Broodlords here from his opponent. Roaches sniping down these spine crawlers. And is Nestea gonna win this? I think so. All the Broodlords are gone. Nestea does not have the air upgraded advantage. Corruptor's finally getting on the field here from Luvsic. Still has a decent bank, mostly in minerals though. Both these players starving in gas. There's an infestation pit counter to infested Terran counterattack here from Luvsic, trying to take out the economy of his opponent. Now we're just getting crazier. Nestea going to be taking out this hatchery. It looks like maybe no, he's not going to, because there are infestors here who have something to say about that. That's a lot of infestors on the field for Luvsic. And look at this supply. We're at the 41-minute mark. 41-minute mark. And we still have even supply. Relatively. So we have a lot of roaches reinforcing here from Nestea, but most of Luvsic's supply is infestors. And as long as Nestea can split up his roaches, will he be okay? Oh, wait a second. That's a lot of roaches there from Luvsic, and all of a sudden, Nestea losing some roaches here for free, which is not what you want. Not what you want. But here comes Nestea with the infestors of his own, throwing down the fungrowths on his opponent, nailing the corruptors as well. So good luck making those broodlords. The Lings have unburrowed and are now doing their ready break. Oh, actually, I think they unburrowed a long time ago and were killed. Anyway, both these players getting lower and lower in supply as this game goes along, which means a lot of intense battles and attacks are happening. A lot of intense engagements as well. Nestea pretty much exclusively long-distance mining. Has a decent amount of bank in his mineral bank, but his gas bank is not as good. A lot of Lings coming forward here from Nestea. There are 3-1 with the carapace prioritized. Infestors throwing down those infested Terrans to try to deal with these. It's still quite hard to tell. And I mean, it makes sense making all those links considering he had such a huge mineral bank. But now both these players are starting to really scramble for that economy. Bottom right hand base is still mining from Luvsic. So is this one. This one getting there. Nestea has something to say about that. No Overseer in this composition, so Nestea throwing down so many infested Terrans using these burrowed infestors. Actually, finally, the Overseer coming forward. The Overlord upgrade, speed upgrade, has been completed. So Nestea advancing to the bottom right-hand side of the map, getting that damage done. And this is crazy. So call me maybe. Stop. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I did mean to do that, but I don't care. Be quiet. Link's coming forward here from Nestea. Where are the Overseers? How is he going to spot these infestors on the ground? It's a catchy song. Leave me alone. A hatchery at the bottom. Going to be targeted down. And it's going to die. So Nestea going to be up 146 to 111 supply. And he just destroyed his opponent's economy right there. No mining bases here from Luvsic. And what does Luvsic do? What does Luvsic do from here? Nestea still has a mining base, is what you can call it, I guess. There's 5 drones mining there. Plenty. Look at all these drones mining here. Nestea is doing fine in that economy. 54 to 24 ahead of his opponent. Infestor's still throwing down so many infested Terrans. There's still no Overseer. Well, there was an Overseer, but I think it was taken down by some infested Terrans. And Nestea just going to back away. Going to rebuild his army. There's the Overseer. In hot pursuit of those Infestors. Craziest race I've ever seen. The amazing race. Nestea turning around and engaging those roaches. Get out of here, says the Lings. Here come the roach reinforcements from Nestea, and he's going to go for it right now. Throwing down more infested Terrans, targeting down those broodlords. Keep in mind, this is just game 1 of a best of 3 between Nestea and Luvsic. Quite crazy indeed. Hope you're enjoying it. I know I am. Fungal Growth being thrown down by Luvsic, but Nestea. Keep in mind, he can just burrow and get that health back if he wants. Burrow and get that health back. Okay, not gonna do it. All those roaches are gonna die. Ouch. It popped. Infestor. No, it's an Overlord. Thought it was an Infestor. But Nestea up 107 to 79 supply. Luvsic still has those Infestors on the field. The units tab shows 9 to 9 in the Infestors. We should have a Western style shoot off where we have the Infestors line up and then walk 5 steps, turn around, throw out their infested Terran, see who wins. That'd be fun. I don't think we can organize, though, considering this is a replay. This isn't live, and I don't speak Korean, so even if it was live, I probably couldn't organize that. I don't know enough Korean to do that. This Terran's being thrown down by Luvsic here. Nestea going to be throwing down infested Terrans of his own. So now it's going to be infested Terran versus infested Terran. Nestea's a little bit better. Or yet a little bit more. Nestea advancing with a lot of roaches to the middle right-hand location. And he's going to clean up this engagement, but good on Luvsic trying to even up the supply, and that's what he's doing. It's now 81 to 71. Income tab, not as good as it once was for Nestea, now 36 to 24. Luvsic doesn't have a rebuilt hatchery. He doesn't have enough money to build a hatchery. Luvsic only has 23 drones here. No money to build a hatchery. No money to build a hatchery. Nestea, where are your units? Okay, here we are. Brood Infestors on the ground. Brood Infestors for both these players. Very close in proximity. And there goes some more infested Terrans. Nestea, where are your Overseers? It's no fun to deal with. Spinecrawler's poking away at these infested Terrans, but they're going to do a lot of damage unless Nestea throws down infested Terrans of his own. That's exactly what he's going to do. We have Infestors from both players jogging for position. This is craziest. Move out of my way. It's like they're punching each other on the ground. We can't see it. There's actually an intense battle going on the ground, but we can't see it. Corruptor's trying to clear up some Overlords. I kind of like it. Going after the economy, the supply of your opponents so they can't build stuff. But honestly, does Nestea need to build stuff? Up 122 to 65 supply, going for a counterattack. But there are no hatcheries down here. There are a lot of exposed drones, though, so Nestea is going to go for it right now. He's going to try to kill these drones, and that's going to be quite successful. Meanwhile, Infestors from Luvsic still trying to be as annoying as possible. Where is that Overseer from Nestea? We'll have to keep an eye on that. And Nestea taking down so many of these drones here. Luvsic down to 38, 36 in the harvester count. I think Nestea wins this game, just throwing that out there. 126 to 35 supply. Corruptor's still trying. Look at all these Corruptors he has. That's his only supply. And there's the GG from Luvsic. So Nestea gonna take game 1 of a best of 3. Yes, you heard me right. It is a best of 3. That is just game 1 of what we have upcoming. So stay tuned. You're watching the Korean qualifier for TSL4. My name is Axeltoss. Let me go to my overlay. That is oh so pretty. Don't make fun. I am easily offended. My feelings get hurt very easily. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to drink water, maybe play a gentle commercial, and we'll be back with game 2 between Nestea and Luvsic. Do not go anywhere.